Unfortunately, it's looking really bad for Lil Baby, and as I'm going to show you, the police have already been looking very closely into his operation, and this is just going to be the cherry on top, unfortunately, for prosecutors that have been coming for 4PF.
Lil Baby is facing major legal heat after allegedly firing shots at NFL player Keion White. He finally had to step out and address the situation publicly, trying to clear his name, but word is, the feds might already be circling. Before we get into Baby's response, let's unpack this entire situation so it actually makes sense. Because it's wild. And I'm not exaggerating when I say this could seriously change the trajectory of Lil Baby's career. Before we dive into the chaos, hit that subscribe button because we're about to get into details the mainstream outlets barely touched. This story has layers. We're talking strip clubs, NFL millions, federal investigations, and street politics, all crashing into one night. Stay with me. First off, for those who don't follow football, Keion White is not some random guy. He's a 27-year-old NFL defensive end, 6'4", 285 pounds of pure power. The San Francisco 49ers traded for him from the New England Patriots back in October, and he was having a breakout year. This is a man who worked his entire life to make it to the league, securing generational wealth. And in one night, all of that was nearly jeopardized over what looks like rap beef drama. What makes it even crazier? White isn't known for street antics. He's college-educated, career-focused, and generally low-key. For him to be pulled into something like this shows just how out of control the situation allegedly became. So here's how it went down. February 9th, 2025, right after the Super Bowl. San Francisco is buzzing. The city just hosted the biggest sporting event in America, and the after-parties are everywhere. Keion White decides to throw a private Super Bowl celebration at Dia Lounge on Mission Street. But this wasn't just a casual gathering. According to the police report, it was a full private strip club vibe. Topless entertainers, dollar bills scattered across the floor, the whole scene. Officers described walking into numerous scantily clad women picking up money that had been thrown everywhere. It was a movie-type setup. Now, here's where things shift. Lil Baby had performed in San Francisco the night before as part of his tour. Instead of calling it a night, he allegedly decided to keep the party going, and somehow ended up trying to enter White's private event. Problem? He and his crew reportedly weren't invited. Police say Baby's entourage was upstairs on the main level, but they were attempting to get downstairs into White's exclusive section. And y'all already know how that can go when egos collide. Picture it. Keion White, the NFL defensive end built like a tank, celebrating with friends and family. Then Lil Baby, a global rap star used to VIP treatment, shows up with his team wanting access. Witnesses told police the exchange escalated quickly. One person claimed Baby's group was pushing to get in. Another said White wasn't backing down. From one side, maybe Baby felt slighted. From the other, might White have felt like it was his event, his money, his space. Neither side was budging, and that's when everything allegedly spiraled. A witness told officers that when tensions rose, he stepped away to grab the manager. While he was upstairs, he heard 2 gunshots. When he came back down, chaos. White was on the ground with a bullet wound to his left ankle. Blood, screaming, people scrambling to escape. In seconds, a celebration turned into a crime scene.
49ers defensive end Keion White. It happened early yesterday morning at a nightclub in San Francisco's Mission District. Our partners at SF Standard report White was hosting a Super Bowl party at Dia Lounge on Mission Street. At some point, White got into an argument involving rapper Lil Baby. That's when White was shot in the ankle. Nearby residents say they were woken up by police activity.
But here's where it gets even messier. Another witness claimed she heard 4 shots, not 2. When police arrived around 4:06 a.m., they recovered 2 separate shell casings, one 9mm and one .45 caliber. That suggests either 2 different firearms were used or more than one shooter was involved. Either way, this wasn't accidental. This was serious.
The window was right by my bed, and so I saw lights. I think that's why I woke up at first. I think I kind of knew that it wasn't the most safe place. But honestly, I mean, like, it kind of seems par for the course. Like, I'm not like entirely like, how could this happen?
Officers also found an abandoned cell phone at the scene. And you already know investigators are combing through that device. Fingerprints, DNA, call logs, texts, everything. That phone could end up being critical evidence. The official police report paints a surreal picture. Officers walked in at 4:06 a.m. to partygoers still exiting, topless entertainers sweeping up dollar bills, and blood on the floor where White had been shot. One officer wrote that numerous scantily clad females were picking up money scattered everywhere, some appearing to be adult entertainers. Imagine responding to that scene. Gunfire, half-dressed dancers, cash everywhere. And here's something that stood out. When police asked White who shot him, he reportedly refused to cooperate. The report states he was uncooperative when asked about the shooter. He kept quiet. Now, here's why this could be especially dangerous for Lil Baby. This isn't the first time federal authorities have reportedly had him on their radar. For years, there's been talk of an ongoing RICO investigation tied to Atlanta District Attorney Fani Willis and his 4PF circle. And RICO cases, they're built slowly. Surveillance, financial tracking, social media monitoring, even analyzing lyrics. One incident that allegedly drew attention was when Baby filmed a music video in a rival neighborhood in Atlanta. Cameras rolling, cash flashing, heavy symbolism. The video reportedly went viral and tensions escalated. Soon after, retaliation hit his own neighborhood. Tragically, 2 minors, ages 16 and 17, were killed in crossfire. Authorities reportedly examined whether the music video sparked that violence, treating it as potential gang-related activity.
811 police are working to try to find out who opened fire on the set of a music video reportedly featuring Atlanta's very own Lil Baby.
The shooting happened just before 5 o'clock tonight. There is a map right here on your screen of where this all took place on Verbena Street. That's in the Dixie Hills neighborhood in the northwest part of the city.
3 men were shot just feet behind me in this parking lot. One shot in the neck, another man shot in the back, the third victim shot in the arm.
The community was outraged, families devastated. Federal investigators allegedly began exploring whether his actions tied into a broader criminal enterprise under RICO statutes.
Suspects, as far as the 3 victims, they are expected to survive. As of this hour, Lil Baby's team has not commented on the shooting.
Investigators reportedly looked into associates, finances, social media, surveillance, the full federal playbook. And RICO charges can mean 20 years to life if prosecutors can prove their case. Lil Baby later dissolved his 4PF label and rebranded under Glass Window, a name many interpreted as signaling transparency. He shifted his public image, business ventures, charity work, family posts, distancing himself from street-coded imagery. He reportedly cut ties with certain associates and surrounded himself with legal and business professionals. But once federal eyes are on you, shaking that attention isn't easy. And now, this San Francisco shooting involving an NFL player raises the stakes even higher. When an NFL athlete is injured, multiple layers of power get involved. The NFL is a multi-billion-dollar organization that protects its players aggressively. The 49ers invested heavily in White. The mayor of San Francisco, Daniel Lurie, publicly addressed the incident, stating violent acts in the city are unacceptable and confirming communication with both SFPD and 49ers leadership. This also potentially crosses into federal territory, interstate implications, commercial impact involving the NFL. If authorities connect this incident to any broader investigation, it could significantly complicate things. Legally, the exposure is massive. Criminally, charges like attempted murder, assault with a deadly weapon, conspiracy, weapons violations, and possibly RICO carry severe penalties. In California alone, attempted murder can mean 15 years to life. Add enhancements, and the numbers climb fast. On the civil side, Keion White could pursue financial damages that reach into the millions. Bottom line, this situation is far from small, and depending on how investigations unfold, it could have serious consequences, both legally and financially, for everyone involved. Lost wages, medical bills, pain and suffering, even punitive damages. We're talking about an NFL athlete earning millions a year who could potentially never step on the field again because of this shooting. And don't forget, the 49ers invested heavily to bring Keion White in. If his career is cut short, they could come after whoever's responsible to recover that loss. That kind of lawsuit, easily tens of millions on the table. So now, Lil Baby is in full-blown crisis mode. He had to say something publicly because his entire brand is hanging by a thread. But here's the trap. Anything he says can be used in court. If he denies involvement and surveillance footage says otherwise, that's a credibility nightmare, possibly worse. If he admits he was there and claims self-defense, he's still acknowledging he shot an NFL player. And if he stays silent, the public starts assuming guilt. There's no easy lane here. His lawyers are likely telling him, "Don't say a word." Meanwhile, his PR team is probably screaming, "You need to control the narrative." Those strategies clash hard, and that puts him in a brutal position. Behind the scenes, the music industry is likely creating distance. Labels don't want headlines tying their artists to shooting an NFL player. Streaming platforms could quietly limit visibility. Promoters might reconsider bookings. Radio could cool off. And let's be honest, the NFL has serious influence. It's a multi-billion-dollar machine. If they decide to apply pressure, they have the connections to make life difficult. We've seen this pattern before. Artists hit with major charges suddenly lose sponsorships, tours get scrapped, music fades from rotation, and the industry keeps moving without them. Careers disappear fast when legal heat gets too real. Now add another layer, street politics. The Bay Area isn't Atlanta. San Francisco and Oakland operate on their own codes, their own alliances. Rolling into someone else's territory and causing chaos doesn't land lightly. The Bay has deep local pride, and outsiders stirring up drama don't always get grace. There's also cultural context. NFL players are hometown heroes. When a visiting rapper allegedly shoots one, emotions escalate quickly. That tension can ripple beyond just the legal system. So what's next? Based on everything surrounding this, the situation looks serious. If federal investigators were already building a broader case, this incident could strengthen their argument. They could claim a pattern of activity across state lines, and that's where RICO talk resurfaces. Historically, federal RICO cases have extremely high conviction rates. When they file, they usually come prepared. If charges escalate, we could see indictments within months. Not just one person, potentially associates too. Federal strategy often includes flipping lower-level players, leveraging wiretaps, surveillance, social media posts, financial records, everything. Here's a possible scenario. State-level charges in California move first, then federal prosecutors step in with a broader indictment. Cooperation deals might get floated, but even cooperation doesn't erase serious time. Federal sentencing guidelines are stiff. If this ever reached trial and ended in conviction, penalties could be life-altering. Even a plea deal could mean well over a decade. That's prime career years gone. And that's the part that hits hardest. Lil Baby built a massive platform, talent, chart-topping albums, loyal fans, generational money. He was positioned to define an era. But mixing street narratives with mainstream fame has always been risky. When lyrics, lifestyle, and legal scrutiny collide, prosecutors don't separate art from allegation. At the end of the day, the streets don't care about platinum plaques or award nominations. Once situations spiral, they spiral fast. Now he's facing the possibility of long-term consequences that could impact not just his career, but his family and future, all stemming from one explosive night. So what do y'all think? Does he fight this and come out clean? Or is this the beginning of a major downfall? Should he have fully stepped away from street ties once the money and fame hit? Drop your thoughts below. Make sure you subscribe because this story is still developing and I'll keep breaking down every twist. If this unfolds the way some expect, it could be one of the biggest shakeups hip-hop has seen in years. Until next time, stay sharp, because fame and fortune don't shield anyone forever.